Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the pre-market live show. Today is Thursday, April 24th, and we're going to look at the market, see what's going on. But first, all information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only. It's not intended as financial advice, so always do your due diligence. And this is what the heat map looks like right there, a little mix. Microsoft's up a little bit, and the other ones are either flat or a little bit red, so we'll go into the SPY. Check that out in the middle minute. But first, let's take a look and see at our Jolie's jumpers right here, that AREB. We were definitely looking at this last night. It's down a penny, but keep an eye on this thing today because this could get moving, and we'll be watching it. AREB. Here you go. It was running around yesterday, and look at it. It might be just a setup day, and then maybe even next week it'll be even better. How you doing, Luis Rodriguez, Blue Collar Teamster, Laptop Travel, Asian Joe Lee, Barbara, and everybody else. Doge Mama 9. How is everybody this morning? Hope everybody's having a great morning already. And here we go. AREB, like I said, just kind of sitting there, but we'll watch for it to try to do that roll off. So I'll be keeping an eye on that one. And let's see what else here. CADL. That's Candel Therapeutics. We've looked at this one recently, and that's popped up there. So there you go. It's CADL. Let's see. Yeah, look at that. It was jumping up yesterday and then continued to run a little bit, not as high, but it had a nice little run this morning at your 4 a.m. And CEP was running up big yesterday, and it ran up some more this morning. So there you go. That one jumped up some more, CEP. And you can see yesterday it got up to 2088, and then today it got up to 2180. So it jumped up even higher right there. And it's at 1957. So CNEY, CN Energy Group was looking good yesterday, and that jumped up tonight, or this morning, I mean. And there you go. It was running yesterday, kept some momentum, and it went 19 to 25. It's at 20 right now. So there you go. It's CNEY. And let's look at CYH. Right? Whoops. Whoop. Typing in CYH. Let's look at that one. Community Health Systems. And that looks like it popped up. Not familiar with this. CYH. And it was jumping up yesterday, just kind of sitting there, but it's in that channel right there. Like I said, I don't think we ever looked at that one. FBGL was that newer one, and we were looking at that last night. It did jump up some. FBGL. It was running up yesterday. It's just kind of hanging out at 84 down to 75, so it looks like it pulled back a little bit. But keep an eye on that one for sure. That's a newer one. It's been jumping up and down. Once it gets over that 50, it'll be good. And it's just not ready yet. And LGCB, I just saw this. Linkage Global was up this morning. And LGCB, and there you go. It ran up yesterday, and then it could pull back, but it's going to set up to be really good right there, LGCB. And let's take a look at PET right here and see what WAG Group is up to. And that's jumped up there, and that was in a good spot. Look at that thing. That was sitting right there, just ready to go. And it went, so it ran up yesterday. Weird chart right there, but definitely moved a little bit. Oh, wait, that's not even it. That's some kind of that's not even giving it to me. Oh, it's PET. That's why I'm writing the name of the company. And Jesus, what am I doing, guys? Here we go. That looks a little bit better. I was going to say, what is going on? PET, and it ran up yesterday. It continued to run up this morning. We weren't really looking at it. Like I said, we looked at it before, but not real recently. And there you go. It was under a penny, and now it ran up there to, or what was it? Yeah. There you go. Under a penny right there yesterday. Ran up huge. And then it ran up some more this morning, and now it's at 17. So it did pull back. But that's PET, and that's a software company, PET. And that one ran up. PRSO. Let's see what this one, that one we were looking at last night, as a matter of fact. Let's see. PRSO. And that is yesterday's date, but keep an eye on this thing. It is running up there pretty good, PRSO. So it doesn't look like it's doing anything this morning. And this one was running in the after hours yesterday, and it already pulled back right there. But you can see it did run TWG. It ran up yesterday, and then it ran up some this morning, it looks like. So it went 18.5 to 21, and it's back to 14. So, I mean, it's crazy how fast these things run up. And this one's WNW, and that is, let's see what this one's doing right here. We were looking at it, ran up the other day for us, and WNW, and there you go. It's just kind of making a little base down here. I would expect it to stay in that channel and continue to run up, and that was a big popper the other day. And there you go with your Jolie's jumpers. Thank you very much, Asian Jolie. And let's take a quick look at our laptop lowdowns real quick, see what's going on. DFLY, DFL right here. Let's see what Dragonfly is up to. And let's take a look at the old Dragonfly right here. It's sitting in a pretty good spot, I must say. It's just been getting beat down. So let me keep an eye on this one today and see if it's trying to bottom. If not, it might roll off here. Like I said, it's getting to be in a pretty decent spot. So I'll keep an eye on that one. And CLGN, what am I typing in? CLGN, here we go. And that's a good lowdown. Look at that one pulled way back. Call plant. So keep that one. Will just be dipping down. We'll keep an eye when that one wants to get ready. And this one ran up. ELPW, a long power holding. It looks like it's coming out of the top now. So watch that one pull back right there. And IBIO, we've been watching this one and talking about it, and actually it does look like it could have bottomed out and start to curl back up. So keep an eye on this IBIO. This one could run again. We'll get through that MACD. I don't know about that, but you could have a little run up as it's trying to. And kids right here, KIDZ, it was trying to curl up right there. This one could definitely get moving relatively soon. You can see that big fish hook right there starting to curl up. It's at 112. It was at 110 yesterday or right around there. Yeah. Hold on, I gotta sneeze. um, I'm telling you, allergy season's great right now. Sorry about that. But anyway, kids right here, yeah, it's just crawling up. You're getting that big old fish hook. So keep an eye on this. I'll be watching that today. And this move right here was at Movado, or Movano, the medical device company. And this had a nice move the other day. And it looks like it's trying to move back up. Let's see. It does not look bad. Look at it. Ran right there, came down, and it doesn't look bad. I don't think it's going to dip down another level, so maybe it will get moving a little bit more. One I'm going to keep an eye on today. And PHIO, this one ran up last week. It's coming down. Watch for it to roll off that MACD and SNYR. SNYR. There we go. Yeah. And this one's down on that trend line. Looks like it's going to pop up there. Let's see. SNYR. And not bad. Yeah, watch for that to try to roll off. And they pull back as they come down and they roll off and go up. So VINC, and this one's way down there. I just saw this on the scanner the other day, and it was pretty far down there. I don't know why it's not coming up on there. That's pretty weird. VINC, definitely not coming up. VINC. Let's see. Yeah, nothing even comes up. Look at it. VNCE, that Vince one, but not this one. That's odd. That's crazy. VINC, not coming up there. It's coming up on here, though, and it doesn't look bad. I don't know why it's not. That's kind of strange. But anyway, WXM. Let's see. WXM right here. Let's see. This one looks like a fairly new one. Just starting out in the bottom. Actually isn't a bad one looking at the candles right there. WXM here. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, it's just starting out, so we'll get them curl ups and run ups as it starts to curl. But there you go for that. And there's your laptop lowdowns. Thank you very much, Laptop Travel. Greatly appreciate them. And let me take a look and see what else is going on in the market today. And let me know if you guys want to see something this morning. I see a bunch of them on here, so I'll run through them. And then we'll take a look at our SPY. Let's see. Larry wants to see INTC. Let's see that one. Intel, we'd look at it anyway, but we'll just take a peek and see what it looks like real quick. And that is crawled up right there. Do they have their earnings today? It looks like. And it does not look bad for Intel at the moment. I would say Intel does want to go up a little bit. It does not look bad for what did I just click on? For the earnings right there. And let's see, ABNB, good old Airbnb. Let's see what that's doing at 118. and they did run up yesterday, just kind of pulling back a little bit as we thought they would. And let's see, A, B, N, B. And not looking bad, just a little healthy pullback, to be completely honest with you. So they are not looking terrible, that's for sure. And TM, that Toyota motor, did run up. There you go. Remember, I said you might get to that 185 right there, Luis Rodriguez, and boom, I would say you got to the 185 right there. Between the two of us, we might as well just rock out Toyota motor every day. Holy cow, look at that. And like I said, maybe you get up a little higher. It was setting up there, you could tell. But yeah, that one was a good one. TM, so Toyota motor, good hit with that, Luis Rodriguez. And it did run right to where we thought. And it could still go a little higher and hit that 190 area. So keep an eye on it. And this HII, Huntington Ignals, this thing's going to get set up. You can see that getting set up, making a base. So watch this thing to try to roll off HII right there. And let's see what else is going on here. That United Healthcare, that one is starting to crawl up and get out of the basement. So this one could be a good opportunity right here just for some quick pops. Obviously, it was way down on that big dip. So I think that could be a good opportunity right there. You can see it as it starts to curl back up. So keep an eye on that. We've been watching it. And BMY is Bristol Myers Squibb. And this one is cruising back up off them earnings. I know we were looking at it, was way down there. And BMY not looking bad. So just watch for it. I don't know if it'll get through that MACD. So, but it'll curl up and start to run as it gets approaching to the MACD. And then it hits it and goes down. And let's see, Lockheed Martin. Let's see what that is up to, and that's up 45 cents. Just kind of flat right there. It is going to roll, I think. I don't know. We'll have to keep an eye. Looking real good to continue. I would say so, too. So I think we're going to have that roll off on Lockheed Martin right here and get cruising. So we'll keep an eye for that one right there. And LVS right here, Las Vegas Sands Corp. And that one is, let's see, unchanged after the revenue miss. So, yeah, it's just kind of hanging out right there this morning. Not doing a whole lot from yet. Well, it's not even doing anything this morning. It's just hanging out from yesterday. And it's at that 34.50. And they had their earnings right there. And it really did not move. You're right. So I guess it didn't really affect Las Vegas Sands too much right there. And let's see, Google, Intel, Nokia, CLS, we'll hit them, and then we'll go through our other ones. GL, the other Google, they look the same, but this one is kind of pulled back from yesterday, but not looking bad, guys. Look at these things sitting on them trend lines right there, a little bit flat. They do look like they want to pop up some. So it does not look bad. I wanted to look at it. We just looked at Intel, Nokia. That one was pulling back. It was just run up there, and I think you might get a little bounce off of that. I was just looking at Nokia, as a matter of fact, and yeah, it was running up into the fives, and now it's back at 491. But watch this bad boy, could get set up. Good old NOK and CLS. What's that? That's Celestica, and let's see what that's doing right here. They have earnings coming up. Is that today? It is today. So watch this one, and it's not looking bad right there. CLS. So you can see it in that channel. We'll hit that 50, come back a little, and get set up. So you can keep an eye on that. Not bad right there. And Pepsi. Let's see what they're up to this morning at 141. This one was way up there in the 180s in like December, and it's just been pulling back here, but you can tell. Here's another one, guys, that will get really set up. Remember, OCGN did the same thing. Pepsi will do the same thing. You can already see that happening right there. So we could just track it. It'll pull back a little bit. It won't even pull back like OCGN. That one was a straight down. This one's more of a, you can just see it's going to pop right up. You can immediately see that's going to happen. And I mean, Pepsi's pretty good anyway. So, but it will get cruising. AGMH, how are you? Larry and the Ghetto Stoic. AGMH. This one was AGMH. If I type it in the right way, it'll come up. But this ran up yesterday and did pull back. Looks like a little bit of healthy pullback, but again, it did run way up yesterday. So that's why you do need to sell them initial pops, because you come back down and then you can catch it at another spot right there. So, and there you go. And PRSO right there, that one we checked out, it is running up from yesterday. It doesn't look like it's doing anything yet today, and we did take a look at that. That's how our heat map looks at the moment. And let's go ahead and look at our look at some of the SPY and other big caps. VNet, what's that doing right here? VNet Group. That's trying to cross through in a good spot right there. Not looking too bad. VNet looked like it ran up yesterday, unless it's not moving yet this morning. Let's see. That is today. It ran up yesterday right there. And yeah, it doesn't look too bad. A little bit of healthy pullback, nothing crazy, but that doesn't look too bad right there, I must say. And let's see what else is going on real quick. Let's look at our SPY and big caps and them guys. There's our heat map right there. I expected to see a little bit of pullback after yesterday, and our SPY is down a little bit. It's not down too much, though, sitting on that trend line, not looking bad. So maybe they're going to keep it up here. And remember what I was saying right before Easter when we were way down here and then they had to pop it up there. We were going to be in a really bearish trend, and they didn't want to do it. And they got it popped up there, that's for sure. Whether they're going to keep it there or let it teeter back down, then say something. And that's been the game the entire time. So you could still see it come back down here into the 480s. I wouldn't doubt it, because just the way it's got to get set up, you have some time here. They're just buying themselves more time is all they're doing. And again, we talked about the Fed and everything last night. So if you want to check that out, go ahead. But here we go. Let's look at our SPY and our other big caps. That is our SPY, and Apple's down just a little bit, sitting on that trend line. But again, they could come back down. So I had a feeling they might, and that's what we were talking about last night. Here's Amazon sitting on that trend line, and I think they'd rather keep them in this than up in this channel, because it's easier to control in these trends than in between the channel, and you have way more room and time, and then you can run it up into the channel and buy yourself even more time. So again, you just got to kind of think of the way that they're looking at it too. And that we just looked at the Google sitting in a good spot. Google could try to bounce off. We'll obviously look at it. And they do have earnings coming up today. So there you go for Google. And how about Meta right here? META down 235 and dipping down. And again, these things were crossing through, but they could pull themselves back. I mean, they have them in a position where they could kind of do anything with them, to be honest with you. But we know that they're going to have to pull them back to buy time. So they can't have them completely popping yet. And that's what you're looking at. So that's why you see all this crazy market stuff. Microsoft was up this morning, and it was crossed up. I don't even know how. It didn't even look that good the other day. And then all of a sudden it got looking good. And now you got it bounced up there, but coming back down. So we'll see if it can stay in this channel. It looks like the 20 is going to let it down right there. So it looks like it could see some pullback for Microsoft. We will keep an eye on that. And the video right here, that one is pulling back a little bit, not looking bad, but trying to cross up there. And I don't know if it's going to get through. So again, they're playing them just the way we think. And these charts are kind of crazy. Look at them. Like this one has it coming up under, and this one has it coming up over, rolling off of it. I don't know why it's doing that. Started doing it last night with like two of them. It was kind of bizarre. And there you go. That's in the video. So I'll be watching it today and watching these Mag 7. Tesla's down a little bit. It is getting set up, though, guys. You can see Tesla's getting set up. Let it just pull back a little bit, probably until like the 230s possibly. And then it'll really look good. So it's not ready yet. The market's not completely ready, but it's getting there. And last time we were saying that, it did jump up some. So we came from down a little bit. We jumped up when it was ready. And that's what they're doing. They're just buying themselves a bunch of time to be able to get the rates down and get what they need to get done. AMC real quick, just sitting flat. I'll tell you what, Chewy was looking good still this morning right here. That's actually down, but I thought it was looking good this morning. Was it still up at some point? No, it just pulled back. It did run up yesterday. Yeah, this thing's looking great still. Let it pull back a little bit and look at this setup. So Chewy is looking really good. Just let it have a little pullback right there. It ran up good yesterday, and that will be definitely setting up again. Netflix, that's pulled back a little bit. It's still over 1,000 right there. And again, these things do look like they want to pull back some, but not a whole lot. So They do look like they're going to have that pullback like we thought. But like I said, I don't think they're going to have a whole lot of pullback on them. So they're not looking really bad. Here's our semiconductors down a little bit. They had run up pretty well and just kind of flattened out today. So nothing crazy. MU, like I said, I didn't think they were getting through the 20s. They're not getting through the 20s. And then we'll keep an eye and see exactly what they're doing. You got to say day to day with these. You obviously know that because they change around, and you got to kind of look at and see what the agenda is for that day. I mean, they're literally going day by day. TSM jumped up into the channel yesterday, but getting let down. And again, I think they can let them back down here. It's easier to control them in here than to have them up here and then have to bring them back down. They'd rather start lower and work your way up, not start up and come down. That's never a good thing. So, I mean, everything in life, you want to kind of start down and go up, right? So that's what they're doing with the market, obviously. So you just got to really pay attention as we have been and just kind of monitor exactly what's going on day to day, just like we do. So SMCI, they all have the same look right there, just getting pulled back, not bad. And I could see them pulling back some. And again, they're just keeping them in these channels, out of recessions, and keeping it perfect, to be honest with you, for what they're trying to do. I mean, they're not perfect for people that want big poppers, but they're perfect for what the market needs to do for them to get this agenda done. And look at AMD crossing through a little bit in a spot where it can pull itself right back down, but it might just run flat and then hit the 20 and then cross down and try to roll off. We'll see what they do. I'll be watching them today as they try to get set up a little bit better to get a better idea of exactly what they're going to be doing. And you know that we always look at that. And here you go, QCOM. But I mean, they're doing exactly what we talked about last night, every single one of them. So that's what they look like. Intel is looking pretty decent up right there and jumping up. So Intel has their earnings. It may jump up on earnings right there. It doesn't look bad. So keep an eye on Intel. And let's see at SMCI. Like I said, it's just sitting right there on that 20. Will they keep it in that channel? It is not looking too bad, but we'll look at it today. They could pull it back down just down here to get set back up. So we'll look at all these, and I'll keep a better eye on them today as they're trying to run around and move, because we'll get a better idea of what channel they want to stay in. And that'll tell us how to play them basically for tomorrow and next week. So it's always nice to know. And you can see PayPal getting pushed down right there, just like we're talking about. So I have a feeling we're going to see that unless you see something crazy happen. This snow actually went from looking terrible to looking pretty good. This one could stay in that channel right there, snow. So we can look at that. You can see it right here. That wants to hold it up there for whatever reason. Snow is looking good. And Dell right here is down. And again, that's in that channel. So they might keep that one in there. That's not a bad one at all. PLTR, that ran up over 100 yesterday, and it's not looking bad. It's still setting up. Might get a little bit of pullback right here, but Palantir is looking pretty good, I must say. And Sophie right here, SOFI, another one just riding that line. Probably ride it down a little bit. They have earnings coming up next week on Tuesday, so we'll keep an eye on Sophie for their earnings, but it does look like it's riding down just a hair, nothing real crazy, just like the rest of them. And let's look at good old Marin and Riot and the rest of them, because Bitcoin and crypto was down this morning, and it is pulling back just to get set up, guys. This is exactly what we were talking about. And there's your Riot, Clean Spark right here, pulling back, and these things are getting set up. Crypto is getting set up, and it's going to get really moving, guys. It just wasn't ready yet, and we knew that. So let's look at MicroStrategy, and then we'll even look at crypto. And MicroStrategy is down 5 hours, but setting up. And let's see what our stock cube says. It says Bitcoin's at 92,300. And let's see what the rest of them. Let me see. They just scrolled right by me real quick. Hold on. Sol's at 146, Ethereum's at 1744, Ripple's at 214, and ADA Cardano, let's say it's at 68 cents, Doge is at 17, HBAR's at 17, down a little bit, and Chainlink's at 1435. Let's take a look at them. And again, they were looking really good. They did run up perfect like we thought, and now we thought they were going to pull back a little bit. So here we go. And They're just getting set up to run, guys. Look at that. We knew that was getting squeezed up. It's going to hold it up here now. It should anyway, but it needs to pull back to make a little bit of room. So there you go with your BTC. And let me just see something real quick. I just curious right here. I don't know what the heck they're talking about. I don't have that. Yeah, I don't see it, what they're talking about. They said that you can get the MACD and RSI on here, and then there was like a settings button, but I don't see it right there. They sent me a screenshot and I don't see it. So I'm going to have to hit them up and find out. But that would be great if we get the MACD. I have to figure that out. It's in the settings somewhere. Apparently, you can do it. I had no idea because I guess you have to add it separately. I'm not sure, but I was looking around last night and I couldn't figure it out. So I'll hit them up and find out. But that would be awesome, guys, if we have the MACD and RSI on these on the Finviz, especially if we get it for like futures and the Forex and stuff. I'm all about it, guys. I mean, look, we'll now these things. Right now, they have these weird things like commercial hedgers and large. I don't really care about any of that stuff. It means nothing to me. But yeah, even Forex, we could crush through that thing and see. And I know Forex is great to trade. I just don't do it because I don't get that look. So again, I will definitely figure that out. But they did say they have it. I just don't see it on there. I was looking last night and I said, let me just look again real quick while I'm talking to you guys. But yeah, I'll find out today. I'll try to figure that out. Is that AREB back up some? Let's see right here. And again, guys, keep an eye on this. There you go. It was just down a little bit, and I think this thing's going to get rolling. So keep your eye on this. We talked about it last night. I told you keep your eye on it, and yeah, it's looking pretty good. That American Rebel Holdings right there. So definitely keep an eye on that. We just looked at we looked at Bitcoin. Let's go back. Let's look at Solana right here and see what that's up to real quick. And let's see. Yeah, look at that setup right there. I mean, it's going to get pushed up there some more. You just got a little bit of pullback, looking pretty good to hold itself up. And we will keep an eye on that going up. And Ethereum was pulled back a little bit this morning. And let's see where you're at. Ethereum right here, hitting the 50, and that's why it's pulling back. Probably come back down. It's in the channel, and that's all. I mean, they're not looking bad, guys. They're doing what we thought they were going to do, so it's perfect. And that's how you just have to play them, just as we've been talking about them. So Ripple trying to get through. It'll probably come back down as it gets set up, and that's perfectly fine as well. You get a better opportunity to buy some more. And there you go with the crypto and them guys. Let me see if I got everything over here. Let me take a look and see if I'm missing any messages or anything. And today's schedule is the initial jobless claims at 8:30, and the durable goods and the core durable orders and that's all at 8:30, and existing home sales at 10. So there you go. I'll retweet that out. Thank you, Luis Rodriguez. I know we discussed that last night, and I totally forgot what was going on today. So there you go. And so we had them going on, and PRSO, we looked at VNet, and oh yeah, Logic Mark, that was down a little bit this morning. How did we not look at that? It was at 0.0088 a little bit ago, and let's see if it can wake up. It literally just slept through the entire day. Look at that. It just slept yesterday. It didn't do anything. It literally just sat there and did nothing yesterday. So sometimes that's you wonder, you're like, is this the sleeping bear that's about to wake up? And I mean, it's right there, guys. Holy cow. I can't get any closer. That's for sure. So all it has to do is get poked and woken up a little bit, and it should start running. So keep your eye on Logic Mark, STX Confidential. I still like it right there, and it's not looking bad down there, I'll tell you that. So we are obviously keeping an eye on that bad boy. You know that. And let's see what else is going on around in the market real quick. And like I said, it did open up a little bit red. We expected it, so that's nothing crazy. And that CNEY is up, PET. And there's that green lane. That thing dropped like a maniac. Yeah, it was like down like 90-something%. It went from what? What was it up to yesterday? It went from hold on. It was at Its high the day before, 28.5 cents, and it came down to like 2. It was crazy. 1 cent, under a penny. It's at 2 cents now. So yeah, we're keeping an eye on that for when it wants to get set back up. But that was a huge dip. TWG was running up in the after hours yesterday. And that MBIO we looked at, someone sent that in. We said it might run up like a Mustang, and there you go. It was moving this morning. Look at that. Now that one too, guys, MBIO. We were early for that guy yesterday. It was on yesterday's. We were looking at it, and bam, look at that, 143 to 196. So that did run up really good, and it was coming back down now, but still ran up really nice at LGCB. Let's see what else is going on here. If we missed anything, that BTOG, that JYD pulled back just a little bit right there. And let's see, look at that AVTE. That thing looks crazy up there. It looks like a shell company or something that just started. It looks weird. I'm not so sure. There's our logic mark just hanging out at 0.0090. And let's see what else is going on over here. The Stroud just warned of a sell-off in December. He's watching these two signals to confirm if stocks have bottomed, and that's what we've been talking about. And Trump pushing markets around isn't only about Trump. Stocks stall on tariff concern as dollar weakens, and Trump tariff news. Relief rally fizzles, and China says not in a trade talk, in trade talks with U.S. So that's what I keep telling you guys. Nothing's really happening. It's just a bunch of nonsense that they're just moving the market around, trying to get the rates down. I don't really think it has anything to do with anything else. Obviously, they're trying to get tariffs figured out, but I think it's more about the rates. Stock futures slip after major averages post back-to-back gains. And let's see if there's anything going on over here real quick in that LGCB and the good old Mustang and Pet. Green lane way down, and not a whole lot happening. What's this one doing? This ABP right there, trying to run up a little bit, and that CEP we saw last night. And there you go. I'd say we saw all that stuff right there. Let me see if there's anything else I'm missing over here, and then let me know if you guys want to see anything else, and we'll take a look at it. Hold on, I'll take a look over here and see if we're seeing anything. American Airlines, are they still down? These things are these are getting set up, guys. When's their earnings right here? They're getting ready to run off their earnings. I guess watch their earnings today and get set up for next week. American Airlines not looking bad right there. What was Delta? I can't even think of it. It's DAL. That's what it is. And another one, because them charts looked very similar the other day. I know that, and they still do. So getting set up for the American or for the airlines, and they are way down as well. So keep an eye on them and see what they're going to do in the next week or so. And what's that AUPH doing right here? That one has dipped down a little bit. And Nokia was down. CMG, isn't that Chipotle? Yeah, Chipotle Mexican Grill, and that one's dipped down a little bit, and that looks a little bearish right there coming down. It will get set up, but it's just pulling back at the moment. IBM took a nice dip yesterday. Remember, this one took a huge dip. And let's see what else is going on. HAS, Hasbro, that's run up there. It looks like they have earnings coming up today. Let's see. Hasbro has earnings. I don't know if I'd play it, but it is in that channel. Not looking bad right there. And is Merck, MRK, I think that's Merck. And we looked at this the other day, and I remember it was way down. They had earnings coming up, which they are 2 days. So I do remember looking at it, and it is looking a little bit better right there for Merck. So there you go with a couple of them. And like we said, that AREB, that is way up there and looking good, guys. So keep an eye on that. And they gave you that last night and said that was probably going to be the one that would be looking good this morning. And it is looking good right there. So there you go with that. Let me see what else is going on. If we got everything, let me take a look and see. I think we did get to everything right there, and that's a pretty good pre-market review, I must say. A little red right there, exactly what we expected to see. I mean, nothing out of the ordinary. we've been playing it pretty well, I say, and it is down some. So there you go, and we'll see what it wants to do, if it can hold itself on this trend line or if it's going to come down. I have a feeling they're going to pull them back down, guys. So it would make way more sense to have them back in this channel. And you just saw that China said they aren't even in discussion. So everything's just a bunch of pump up and then let it come back down. We know what's going on. It's not a big deal, and we'll play the market accordingly right there. So there you go, everybody. I'd say that's a pretty good pre-market review, and we're definitely looking at our LGMK and see if it wakes up today, because it definitely did not yesterday. It literally slept through the entire day. And keep your eye on that AREB. We gave you that, and it's up 20% and just cruising right there. So and there you go. I'd say we nailed the market pretty perfectly. Another day right there. So I would say not looking bad. BCTX, this thing ran way up. We were not looking at Bria Cell Therapeutics, but that is way up. And linkage, that's up. CEP ran up some more in that AREB. So there you go, guys. I would say we nailed it. And we knew what was going on. Even that Mustang ran up 3%, which is a nice little pop up right there. So again, you don't always have to hit the 100%ers. You just have to hit the ones and make sure you trade them smart. Even 100%ers, you better trade it smart and lock in profits, because you see the next day they do come down, or they pop up at 4 a.m. and then come back down really hard. So there you go, everybody. I'd say that's a really good pre-market review. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Luis Rodriguez and Blue Collar Teamster and David, Larry, and Laptop Travel, Asian Joe Lee, the Ghetto Stoic, and whoever else is on here. A bunch of other people I see. I wish I could see everybody. Doge Mama 9 and Barbara. And how is everybody? Like I said, have a great day. It is a Thursday going into it. Weeks go by so fast. It's crazy. And we knew it was going on. So we're just going to watch for a little bit of pullback. We'll see if anything gets said. I doubt it. I think we might have some pullback here, and it is expected. So that's what we're looking at the moment, and we'll keep you guys posted. Let me know if you guys see anything. What is this pie thing doing? Let's see. Well, I just grabbed my attention right there, and it's jumped up. I don't know. I think it's already jumped up too much. I just saw it was up like $13. I didn't know what it was, but it's called Pi, and I don't even know it. It's a semiconductor. I'm not even familiar with it. So there you go, guys. Oh yeah, you want to look at gold? Gold is back up a little bit. It might just stay in this channel right now. Could be another really good opportunity, to be honest with you. As it came down, it did jump up. You can see JNUG and the miners did. They probably will roll off, I would imagine. Here's NUGT doing the same thing, and GDX right there. So, yeah, they do look like they're going to roll off, and gold will go higher. It just dipped down yesterday. And, again, everything's such a big overreaction, guys, so that's all you got to look for. And then everything will just go back the other way immediately. You just kind of know exactly what's going on. And Budweiser, we should look at the beer companies sleeping on them, but they're coming off the bottom. Well, let's look at Budweiser then. Here we go. And that one's up there, but that's curling up. Yeah, that one, that did come off. Remember, Bud Light was with that, whatever that person's name is. I'm trying to think of it. Whatever, the trans person that they did, everybody knows what I'm talking about. The marketing campaign that just like got them destroyed. That was crazy. Anyway, it does look way better right here, Budweiser. So, or Bud, Anheuser-Busch, they own all them, Bud Light, Budweiser, and all that. So yeah, we might have to look at some of them beer companies, because that looks like it's running up there. Here's Sam. That's Samuel Adams right here in Boston. And let's see, that one's trying to roll up, and definitely does look. I remember this was pulling back big, and you're right. That probably it did bottom out right there. You can see it at that 215. You're at 244, and this is once traded in the 300s, and it is trying to move back up. You have that resistance right there at 260. So that one could be a good one. Yeah, we'll have to look at some beer ones, Luis Rodriguez, and see what they're up to, and monitor them guys. So here we go. Let's see. ABEV. That one's been running up. I don't even know who they are, but that one runs up a lot. There's Budweiser and CCU. I'm not familiar with that one. Looks like a Spanish company right there. FMX. That looks like Mexico, too. That's Chile. And this one, FMX, looks like it's in Mexico. And that is going to be bouncing back up there. Samuel Adams, and STZ is Constellation Brands. and that one's just kind of hanging out right there. And tap right here, Molson, and that one is going to probably get set up TAP. You can see that one. So there you go. Yeah, you can see that guy getting set up right there. We'll see though. It could drop down and stay in here and then get set up. So we'll keep an eye on that tap, but that has an interesting setup for that. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on some beer ones. And thank you very much for that, Luis Rodriguez, and everybody. Greatly appreciate you tuning in, sending in some stock tickers, asking some questions. That's what makes the show fun and keeps us moving along. And I'll keep you guys posted what's going on today. It looks like we thought it would, and we'll see if Logic Mark can actually wake up this morning. If I could type it in, there you go. It moved a little tiny bit there, so it was down a little bit. It moved up a little bit. Maybe we're getting in the right direction. And keep an eye on this guy right here, because it is cruising for us, and we did like it. So there you go, everybody. That's a good pre-market review. Have a great day. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only. It's not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. Be sure to trade smart, lock in those profits. And goodbye. Good luck. See you later. And have a great day, everybody.